We did not intend escalation. Our strikes were only retaliation against terrorists. We had no desire to have a prolonged conflict. But when Pakistan acted, we had to react. And if Pakistan stopped, we decided to stop. That is exactly where we have left matters as of now. Some of you have asked me, and I think I'll answer that question now, why it is that we were so sure that these terrorists had come from Pakistan. There are three reasons, my friends. The first is that we have seen a pattern for almost 4 decades of repeated terror attacks, which have been always denied by Pakistan and then proven to involve people based in, created by, armed by, financed by, guided by Pakistan, by elements in Pakistan. I will not blame the entire government or the state. There are elements in the military establishment of that state that have done this. You all remember the horrors of Mumbai in 2008. You all remember 170 people being killed in 3 or 4 locations, innocent people at hotels having dinners and celebrations who were killed in pursuance of this malign agenda. You all remember how Pakistan claimed that they did not know where Osama bin Laden was and that they thought he was dead, and he was found in a safe house right next to an army cantonment in a city that is a headquarters, a major garrison of the Pakistan army. This has been the record of Pakistan time after time after time. So our first set of reasons is when there is a pattern established and proven over many decades, you have no reason to disbelieve that suddenly this came from somewhere else. Second reason, when we struck the terror headquarters, we took some lives, and of course a funeral was conducted. There were some very prominent people at that funeral, and there was at least one individual whose name had been listed by the United Nations Sanctions Committee. I want to show you who attended the funeral, and I think we have a slide on the screen as well. It was people in uniform from the highest echelons of the Pakistani army and police mourning at the funeral of designated terrorists. This is the country that now says, we are innocent, we did not do it. You do not mourn for people you do not know. Third reason is that, very sadly, this terrorist action was in pursuance of a cynical set of objectives that sadly only the Pakistani military seems to want to pursue. To undermine our country, to undermine the Kashmiri economy, which was booming with tourism. There were 100% growth in tourism in Kashmir between the first 4 months of last year and the first 4 months of this year. We had actually seen, I was told by my friend, the Indian ambassador in Washington, that there were more tourists in this place in Kashmir, in Pahalgam, than there were in Aspen, Colorado, the big tourist site that you're all familiar with in the US. And yet, by a terrorist attack, they knew they could stop tourists coming. And indeed, there has been a dramatic collapse in tourism in the weeks afterwards, which we hope can be reversed. But that too is an objective only of our nation's enemies. Third, there was a very unpleasant manner in which this was conducted, in which the terrorists asked the religion of the people they were shooting and then shot them dead. They did so for very, very dangerous purposes, not just in pursuance of their own bigoted agenda, their own fanatic belief in their faith, but also in order to provoke a backlash in our country against our co-citizens of that faith, in order perhaps to divide our country in irreparable ways. I'm proud to say India did not fall for that bait. Indians stood united, Hindu and Muslim alike, and indeed people of all other religions, stayed together in our country, united against terrorism. My delegation's presence here is proof of that. We represent, the 7 of the MPs who have come, we represent 5 political parties. We come from every different part, each one of us comes from a different state, a different part of our country. But we are united in this one message, that the nation stands with one heartbeat to say to the entire world, we have had enough. We will not take any more. We wanted you to understand that we have been patient. We have tried every other means. We have offered cooperation with investigations. We've even invited the Pakistanis to come and cooperate. We've given the world lots of proof of things like the Mumbai attack. Now the time has come that we must act ourselves, because nothing else has worked. Nothing else has stopped these people. There's been no prosecution, no conviction of any of these terrorists. And we believe that when Panama joined in the United Nations Security Council statement that said it is not just enough to catch the perpetrators of such crimes, but one must also hold accountable the countries that provide them safe haven and support and finance, I think the message should have gone very, very clearly to our neighbor that that is a message the world stands behind. I want once again to thank the government and people of Panama for the support and understanding they have shown us. We stand with them in their needs. I was very pleased when both the Foreign Minister and the Vice Foreign Minister spoke about the opportunities for close cooperation between our two countries in the economic development of Panama. As investors come from our country, I'm sure you will see a lot more Indian faces at future receptions by my good friend, the Ambassador. We have tried very much to give Panama the importance it rightly deserves. And today, as a member of the Security Council, you stand proudly for the forces of peace and security around the world. We thank you, Carlos Hoyos, and your colleagues for all the support you've shown us. We thank you all for coming here, and I hope that you will stay on and enjoy some convivial company and conversation at this reception. But I did want to leave you with this message. What has happened cannot be allowed to happen again. If it is attempted again, there will be a firm Indian response, and I seek your understanding in advance if that were to happen again. This time, we have come after a tragedy. Next time, we may not need to come again, because you will have heard the message that we have all given you today.